Hi everyone, it's Marissa from Bumblebee Apothecary. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a very effective all-natural waterproof sunscreen. So this organic sunscreen recipe is really great because all of the ingredients are perfectly safe and natural. There are a lot of different commercial sunscreen options, but so many of them have ingredients that are not very safe for various reasons. For example, some of them will have nano zinc oxide, which means that the particles are small enough that they can go deeply into the layers of your skin, which is not good. It's better to use a non-nano zinc oxide so that the particles are large enough to just stay on the surface, and that way they protect both the top layer and deeper layers of skin from sun damage. Some of the other ingredients in commercial conventional sunscreens are actually non-biodegradable chemicals that are carcinogenic and are hormone disruptors. Chemical sunscreens carry their ingredients deep down into the body, and once it's down into the skin's layers, those harmful ingredients can react with UV light, causing damage. Far better to use a safe, natural alternative like this organic sunscreen recipe that creates a physical barrier on the skin that protects it from the sun's damage. So let's jump in and I'm going to show you how to make it. So it's a very easy recipe to put together. The measurements are all really easy to remember, and it has some simple ingredients. I'm going to link in the description box sources for all of the ingredients that I use so that you can easily find them. Also on my blog, bumblebeeapothecary.com, there will be a full written recipe and a printable recipe card if you want to head on over there and get that. We're going to start by weighing all of our ingredients. The measurements for this recipe are all by weight. So I'm going to turn on my scale and we'll start by weighing in ounces. We're going to have 2 ounces of each thing. So we're going to start with 2 ounces of beeswax. The beeswax helps to make this sunscreen so that it is actually waterproof, which is great for when you're swimming and playing in and around the water. So we have 2 ounces of that. Zero out my scale again. And we're going to do 2 ounces of a liquid oil. You have a couple of different options here for the liquid oil. You can do olive oil, which works great. It has wonderful skin properties, and that helps keep the cost of ingredients down a little bit. Another thing that you can do is use some other oils like argan oil or carrot seed oil, or a combination of both, and those have additional SPF properties to them. They're full of antioxidants and are great for protecting the skin from the sun. Just with the olive oil version, this sunscreen has an SPF protection of at least 30. It's hard always to say with homemade sunscreens what exactly the SPF amount is, but from the research that I did, it said at least 30. Next, we're going to be adding 2 ounces of zinc oxide. Again, this is the non-nano zinc oxide powder. And then also 2 ounces of, the virgin coconut oil. Coconut oil by itself actually has some sun protecting properties too, which is interesting. So 2 ounces by weight of all 5 ingredients. If you choose to go the route where you use the carrot seed and argan oil, then I just use half and half of each of those. So 1 ounce of each by weight. And then last of all, we're going to add 2 ounces of cocoa butter. And this actually gives it a very nice chocolatey scent. Okay, so once we have all of those ingredients measured out, we're going to melt them so that they can be combined. So I've created a double boiler type of a situation here with a pan with a cloth inside underneath my glass pitcher, and then my glass pitcher on top of the cloth, and I'm going to add water, and then I'm going to just heat this to a simmer. Usually start on about medium high or so for something like this. And then I'm going to periodically check on it and stir it with my wooden chopstick every now and then, and we'll watch as it melts and becomes liquid. So we'll check back in a little bit once that has happened. Okay, we are back now after this has been simmering for a while and everything is completely melted. You can see now that everything is melted and very well combined. You'll probably notice that I switched to a whisk for mixing this. That's just to help everything get very well combined. So I'm going to turn off my heat now, and I'm going to remove this pitcher carefully from the double boiler. And then I'm just going to let it sit for a while. I'm going to mix it right now, and then every so often I'm going to come back and check on it and stir it really well each time I do. And what that is going to do is, some of the ingredients like to solidify quicker than others, and if you just let it sit and cool without ever stirring it, or if you were to just pour it into your container like this and let it cool, it'll kind of start to separate out as it solidifies, and we don't want that. We want it all to be an even mixture. So we're going to leave it in this pitcher and let it cool slowly, and we're just going to stir it every now and then, and I will show you what happens. It'll slowly start to thicken up, and once it starts to thicken up, it'll stay suspended and everything will stay evenly distributed throughout the mixture, and at that point we will pour it into our container and let it harden the rest of the way. So I'll be back in a little while after this has solidified some more, and we'll do that. Alright, so the sunscreen is thickening up nicely, and it's to the point where it's time to put it into our container. You can see how thick it is, that everything stays nicely suspended. So I'm going to switch to a rubber scraper and go ahead and put this into my container. For containers, you can either do a jar, or you can even do something like a silicone squeeze tube. I've used those before, and that's what I like to just kind of keep in my bag for going places, but that way you don't have to worry about glass breaking or something, and it's a nice size for traveling. A jar works fine too. Okay, so there you have it, a nice jar of completely natural, organic, very effective sunscreen that's really easy to put together and works great. If you would rather not make it yourself at this point, I have an Etsy shop where I offer these sunscreens in both the olive oil and the carrot seed and argan oil option. I will put a link in the description box where you can find that. Also, I have a free ebook that I've made that is all about DIY home remedy recipes, and that's a really great resource. It's completely free. It has several different salve recipes for healing different things. It has an elderberry syrup recipe, so I'll also put a link in the description box below where you can grab that free ebook too if you'd like. Okay, if you like this video, be sure and give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody that you know who might like it. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. I make new videos every week on traditional health wisdom and living a sustainable DIY lifestyle. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.